right?
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So I was just, because what I'm trying to say is that if we have somebody that comes in, a dignitary, if they go this way, you guys would still be able to get a walking shot of them, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you. keep going behind the building.
You know what? I'm gonna just check in with them because at 12:30.
Brother, show her where the cameras are.
Kev, you okay?
Mic check, 1, 2, 3, check. Check 1.
Finally, I get
Check
to see
two.
him. Finally, I get to see him in person.
Oh, how you doing?
That's
Patrick
fine.
Fozzie.
I know
Good to
you.
see you. Thank you for watching. Mr. Ajmal.
Can you just speak first?
Well, I'm still waiting for everybody. Ahmed Rehab has to be here.
No, he said you can start until he gets here. He's not getting here till 12:37.
Is Ahmed coming in?
Yeah, if you guys can wait 5 minutes.
No.
you
We
starting
won't
on
start
time?
before 12:30. No. We're gonna start.
Are you starting on time ولا لا؟
Yeah, 12:30.
رد عليك شيخ عمر؟
Yeah, he said he's gonna be here 12:30.
So let me just introduce our speakers. Give me 1 minute, and then we will
Okay,
start when
we don't know.
Ahmed
We
gets here.
don't know who the speakers are.
No, you are going to speak for sure.
Yeah.
And the mayor is here from Plainfield, so have him step up. Those two first, and then Ahmed. Ahmed will speak with you.
That's the father of the.
Yeah, but Ahmed will speak with him.
Yeah, that's fine, but we cannot hold it too long.
Okay.
Until
You let us
12:30. I will let you know, child.
Let me just
Where's the mayor? Well, right now he can wait, and then once we're done.
let me just introduce you. Okay. Good morning, everybody. Thank you all for being here under such circumstances. I'd like to thank local media, national media, and we have international press here at Moss Foundation in Bridgeview. We are going to be starting shortly, but you have the correct spelling and titles of those who are going to be speaking to us this morning. I'm going to start by introducing the former president of Moss Foundation. Many of you know him within our Chicago greater community. He's going to just give us his first and last name and spell it. And then we also will be having a few other speakers. And then just so all of us are on the same page, we're waiting for Executive Director Ahmed Rahab from CARE Chicago, who is on his way. Behind us is the family who's here. But at this time, I'm going to introduce Osama Jamal. He's going to give you his first and last name. And we're going to be starting shortly. But if you could just tell us your first and last name.
Yeah, and we have our questions here. Okay. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Members of the media, members of the community, thank you for coming over. We appreciate your attention to this horrific incident of hate crime. My name is Osama Jamal, spells O-U-S-S-A-M-A. My last name is J-A-M-M-A-L, former president of the Moss Foundation and the spokesperson. We will start exactly at 12:30 as we promised everyone, so I will be holding. Once we start speaking, that's okay. Once we start, everybody will introduce themselves and their names. Just have to wait. Just have to wait. خلي الشيخ حسن يكون جنب الشيخ حسن جنب اخونا خلي يكون جنب اخونا دكتور حمادي يكون جنب دكتور حمادي
I was told.
Yeah, these are the only two families that we can have.
Yeah, he's the spokesperson for CARE. Wait for Ahmed Rahab. He's going to be here in a few minutes.
بس السبيكرز الله يبارك مو السبيكرز.
Sister Ajmal, please do not bring anybody that I know here. We have decided who's here. Only two from the family. I don't know who's the gentleman. Please don't. Because of what? I'm sorry, who's the gentleman here? Who you are?
I'm Mohammed Fahim. I'm the president of Amman, American Muslims Assisting Neighbors. We are in Plainfield.
Please step aside there so that we can have one. Right over there that's why we have to clear this area from this over there. We can't have anybody exposed to the camera. Nobody exposed to the camera right now. Everybody in the معلش الأخوة هنا
A 97-year-old man sitting on top of a 6-year-old kid, stepping him 26 times, looking at his eyes. Unfortunately, we're getting some messages and calls that we have executives. How can you graduate a 7-year-old?
وين صار أسامة؟ أسامة وين صار أسامة؟
أسامة بده 4-5 minutes.
4-5 minutes? Oh, okay.
I can't think about it. My daughter may be in the same class. I have a 5.5-year-old daughter that's working in kindergarten. Can you imagine a guy? It's terrible. I mean, he just turned the wrong, he just flipped. Nobody knows what happened to her. So hopefully we're here we're going to have we're not here because of we're here and jobs are going open we are like, I like people to just insist when they speak, not come back and forth.
Just off the record, let them know who he is so they can get it. We can start.
لا 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 خليك
keep track of أسامة. خلي واحد ثاني يحط له سيارة ويجي هو. وصل ولا وصل؟ Okay, I think we are going to start. I will be reading a statement by the Mars Foundation on the hate crime incident of 6-year-old boy and the attempted murder of his mother. The Mars Foundation deeply mourns the tragic death of a 6-year-old boy, Wadea Al-Fayoume, and prays for the swift recovery of his critically injured mother, Hanan Shaheen, victims of a horrifying incident where their landlord, in an act of hate, shouted threats and unleashed violence. It is with heavy hearts that we acknowledge this senseless act of hate, which has no place in our community or our society. The brutality of the attack, which involved a military-grade knife, has shocked us all. During these challenging times, we are also profoundly saddened to hear of the loss of lives among our community members' family who were trapped in Gaza due to Israeli bombardment of civilian areas. Emotions and concerns are running high within our community as we grapple with the devastating impact of these events. Regrettably, it is evident that such incidents are in part a result of irresponsible and one-sided views, as well as deliberate neglect and omission of the Palestinian people from the critical discussions. We must address the consequences of unchecked hate and the use of unverified information, as demonstrated in the recent October 10th speech by the President of the United States. We urge the media to exercise responsibility and balance its reporting, recognizing that it plays a pivotal role in shaping public perception. It is through media that people form their understanding of events. We implore media outlets to provide accurate and comprehensive coverage, fostering a climate of understanding and empathy, rather than amplifying division and hatred. Our thoughts and prayers are with all victims of violence, both here, at home, and abroad. We fervently hope for peace and justice to prevail for all, and we call on leaders and communities to come together in the pursuit of a better, more harmonious world. Thank you for coming here today. Share with us the agony, the fear that we are going through. I would like now to introduce Osama Al-Shade, Executive Director of the American Muslim for Palestine.
Thank you. This heinous crime did not take place in a vacuum. Over the past 10 days, Palestinians, Arabs, Muslim Americans have been subjected to a hateful, hostile campaign. Anyone who supports the Palestinian rights and dares to criticize the war crimes that are committed by Israel in the Gaza Strip has become the subject of accusation here in the United States. It is not only the Palestinians in the Gaza Strip who are subjected to this campaign of dehumanization. This also has been extended to us here in the United States. This created an atmosphere of hate and anger. Unfortunately, public officials and our media are acting irresponsible. When you have a president who promotes debunked lies, as in the case of the beheaded Israeli children, and when you have a media supposedly mainstream media that also refers to debunked lies, as in the case of raping Israeli women, we should not be surprised when we see crimes are committed against those who speak for the Palestinian rights. It is not about supporting terrorism. It is not about October 7th. History didn't start on October 7th, and no one marched here or spoke on behalf of the Palestinian rights to endorse what happened on October 7th. What we are for is the Palestinian rights. What we are for is the Palestinian plight. What we are for is what the president himself at one point said, that they deserve to enjoy equal measures of freedom and dignity, which they have been deprived from for the past 7 years. The criminals who perpetrated this crime against Wadea and his mother is not the person who stabbed him alone. In fact, it is this atmosphere or charged atmosphere of hatred that is being advanced, that is being promoted by our public officials and by our media. So we call on the president, one, to walk back and to apologize for using debunked stories. He have not apologized yet. The White House walked back that statement by him. But for him to claim that he's seen it with his own eyes and not to apologize for it, that will continue to promote anger and to charge bigoted people to commit more crimes. He also needs to come out and state clearly that American people have the right to speak out against Israeli atrocities. When we speak out against Israeli atrocities, we're not joining a so-called day of jihad, as the media is trying to portray it. We are standing on principle, we are standing for human rights, and the Palestinian people deserve to be afforded and extended the same human rights that we enjoy. This is not something that comes or emanates from the President of the United States or the US government. This is a God-given right. Their humanity does not need the certification of the President of the United States, Joe Biden. So we want him also to apologize and to say that Americans who are opposed to the Israeli atrocities have the right to speak out, have the right to demonstrate, and have the right to continue to advance the Palestinian narrative here in America. So we ask our media to be responsible, and we ask you to verify your stories before you broadcast them and you write them, and we ask you to hold our elected officials and public politicians to hold them responsible, and we ask you to hold yourself responsible for the messages that you have been unfortunately advancing and promoting while unverified. Thank you.
Can you say and spell your name?
Yes.
My name is Osama, O-S-A-M-A. Last name is A-B-U-I-R-S-H-A-I-D. And I'm the Executive Director of the American Muslims for Palestine.
Thank you. Now I would like to introduce Ahmed Rehab, the Executive Director of Chicago Care Office. And after that, we will be introducing the father of the baby who was stabbed 26 times.
This is a heavy day. It is our worst nightmare come true. It is something we try to warn against, creating an atmosphere of dehumanization that puts our community at risk, creates sitting ducks. And it pains me that the sacrificial lamb to this atmosphere was this beautiful, young, 6-year-old boy who had his whole life ahead of him, Wadea Al-Fayoume, who loved soccer, who loved basketball, who loved Lego, who loved to swing, who knew nothing, could fathom nothing about the complicated politics of the world that seemed to have claimed his life in a moment of madness. He was stabbed 26 times, the 6-year-old boy, with the 12-inch knife in his body still as he entered the autopsy room. And his mother, who was stabbed all over her body a dozen times and had tried to call 911 and came out to see this terrible scene that no parent should ever see, now has to sit in this hospital room all alone without the warmth of this community embrace that we have the privilege of having here today, thanks to this wonderful mosque, dealing with her injuries, dealing with her emotional trauma, and dealing with the biggest hole that can never be filled, the biggest gap of all, the loss of her child. So I want us today to center her and her child and the family, the father. The pain that is in their hearts is in all of our hearts. This was an attack on all of us. When this individual said, "You Muslims must die," this was a message not to the boy and the mother. This was to all of us. We were all stabbed that day. And I want to conclude by asking all of us to commit, Muslim, Jewish, Christian, whatever faith, whatever race, whatever nationality you originate from, to commit to a basic level of respect for all humanity and not to engage in assertion that it removes humanity, phrases like human animals, or by omission, or by erasure, by simply not talking about the suffering. That is erasure and omission and is dehumanization. Let's commit to being better and having a consistent moral standard. Thank you.
Now,
My name is Ahmed Rehab. Ahmed is spelled A-H-M-E-D. Rehab is spelled R-E-H-A-B. I'm the executive director of the Council on American Islamic Relations, CARE Chicago.
I think the father is in extreme emotions and can't speak, but I think his uncle will be able to speak. So I'm going to ask his uncle to speak.
First of all, thank you for all coming in. We appreciate it. And that it shows us that everybody is interested. Everybody cares. I'm not a politician, so I'm not going to speak as a politician. I'm going to speak as a human being. And they say I'm an uncle, but I'm more as a grandfather to this little boy. The father, he would like to speak, but the problem is he would like to speak in his own language for his father to understand. I just want to tell the whole world that we live in a country called the USA. We're not in war. And we're not bringing war here too. What happened that day for a gentleman that he loved that kid to start with. He used to bring him toys. And to hear on the news from our president that he's seen some pictures, and actually that was not true. The Congress came out and denied it. The reporter herself, she denied it. The soldiers themselves, they said we did not see. This gentleman heard it, and it was in his mind. And the only thing he saw that kid and his mom. We received some calls. They said we've been exaggerating. Now I want to ask anybody here, a 71-year-old man sitting on top of a 6-year-old kid, stabbing him more than 26 times, and he was looking in his eyes. You tell me Is that exaggeration? You tell me what type of man he can do that. I would like to say he's accountable, but he's not. I think our president needs to come out and say something. Our officials needs to come out and say something. We're not in war. The war is overseas. You want war? It's overseas. It's not our war. It's not United States war. And we're gathering here to say we need to save our kids. I'm not just saying about Palestinians. I'm saying about our kids. We need to save them. I appreciate it. Thank you for all.
Spell your name.
He's a 6-year-old kid. As any other 6-year-old kid, he likes to play games. He's a very kind kid. He likes to jump up and down. And we received a text message. Hopefully we can send this text message from his mom. That when he was stabbed, his last words to his mom, "Mom, I'm fine." You know what? He is fine. He's in a better place. Thank you.
I would like to introduce Dr. Imam Omar Suleiman, a national leader and speaker.
There's the famous saying of the mother of Emmett Till when she said, "Let the world see what they have done to my boy." Since the mother of Wadea is not here, we say on her behalf, let the world see what they have done to her boy. And I want you to take a moment to appreciate that every single Palestinian child looks like Wadea. That every single Palestinian child is just as beautiful, has just as much of a right to be mourned. And when we mourn Wadea, we are mourning all of those children. And when we condemn the hate that killed Wadea, we are condemning the hate that has killed all of those children. And while we appreciate these statements of sympathy, we do not appreciate empty words of condolence without a commitment to course correct. There's a lot of complicity to go around here. We're trying very hard to be pastoral to this family right now. But we cannot ignore the greater environment of hate that is being enabled by every single structure around us right now. The Palestinian catastrophe has not even warranted a word from the mouth of the headest official of this land. And to turn on the TV and to go to your school and to hear from your corporations an acknowledgement of everybody's humanity except for your own. There's more than just the man that stabbed a 6-year-old boy here. I want you to think about what was in his head. What type of hate has to be manufactured in the head of a man for him to stand over a 6-year-old boy and stab him 26 times? And I want each and every single one of us to take a step back and to actually assess our own humanity in the moment. If you can't shed tears right now, you have a humanity problem. If you are not thinking about how you can use whatever you have, whether you're behind the camera or in front of the camera, whether you're a politician or a media spokesperson, how you can use it to uplift the humanity of these children, you have a humanity problem. If we had to stage a press conference for every single Palestinian child that's being pulled out of the rubble, for every single fetus child that has been miscarried because they don't have access to hospitals in Gaza right now, for every single child that's been kicked in the face and spit on in the West Bank right now by an Israeli settler who knows that they have the full cover of the Israeli government as well as the United States government, then we would be here all day long. I'm asking you to be a human being. I'm asking each and every single person to take a step back and let's ask ourselves the question, have we not learned anything from 9/11? Do we really want to live those dark years again? I can tell you that we, as a Muslim community, as Palestinian Americans, Arab Americans, people who have faced the thrust of dehumanization at the hands of the government as well as the media, are not willing to go back to that. Let's all take a step back and let's acknowledge that no child should ever have to pay for the crimes or for the manufactured image of a criminal on the part of anybody else. Every single child deserves to be treated with the love and compassion and care that we hope that our own children have. So we take a step back and please acknowledge that this community needs to grieve right now, that this community is in pain, but that this community has been in pain for the last week, and I doubt that there has been a single camera here over the last week. Assalamu alaikum, peace be with you.
Introduce yourself first and last name.
Imam Omar Suleiman, IMAM OMARSULEIMAN. Thank you.
I believe the father would like to speak, though he does not speak English, he is going to speak in Arabic as a father.
Can you guys back up, please?
Yeah, please.
He asked me not to.
السلام عليكم. حبيبي كل الناس اللي هون دمياني احكي بالانجليزي وانا بحكي انجليزي الحمد لله رب العالمين. بس القضية اللي صارت قضية واحد امريكي او يهودي مع واحد مسلم على ارض امريكية، فالطرفين بيحكوش انجليزي، فانا ليش احكي بالانجليزي؟ انا هون لاني ابو الولد، مش لاني رجل سياسي او رجل دين او رجل اي شيء. انا هون ابو طفل انتهك حقه هون، وفي عائلات بالنسبة إلي موجودة في البلاد هي الأحق إنها تفهم شو اللي بصير. كلهم هناك بتطلعوا شايفين الأعلام مرفوعة ومش عارفين مين اللي رفعها، هو عربي ولا مسلم ولا أمريكي ولا يهودي. هدول الناس الأحق إنهم يعرفوا شو اللي صار. أنا القضية اللي صارت معاي مش قضية، أنا ابني هدية شهيد. أنا بتمنى إنهم يتقبلوا مني أهل غزة وأحدا كمان. قضية حماس وقضية غزة هي قضية عالم، مش قضية بلد وبلد. أنا أصغر من إني أحكي عنها، وبتمنى إنه ابني يكون هو رصاصة اللي من خلالها تنحل هاي القضية. إحنا كشعب مسلم بيحكوا عنا مجرمين وبيحكوا عنا إرهابيين، وهم الشعب الإسرائيلي الأبطال، وما في مشكلة عنا بهذا الحكي. بس أنا ما بدي أبرر ولا بدي أحكي أي إشي، بس أنا بدي أفهم هم شو تفسيرهم لهذا الحكي. يعني لما واحد زلمة رجل ما يحاول أصلا يقترب من الأب، راح اقترب من الأم، وهاي الأم بنت من بنات فلسطين، وبرضه ما قدر عليها، شوهت وجهه، فراح جاب سكين وانتقم من الولد. فإذا هيك هم مستواهم، فعن جد إحنا حيوانات، لأنه بنسمح لهيك شغلات إنها تصير. فأنا بتمنى إنه تكون هاي الشغلة اللي تصحينا إحنا بداية، وابني أنا مش خايف عليه، والحمد لله رب العالمين. حبيبي شكرا لكم.
I will introduce Dr. Abdul Ghani Hamadi, the chairman of the Council of Islamic Organization of Greater Chicago, as a physician.
My name is Abdul Ghani Hamadi, Abdulgany, Hamadi, Hamadeh. I am the chairman of the Council of Islamic Organizations, which is the umbrella organization for this mosque and 40 other mosques are under. We represent the Muslim community here in the Chicago area. But I'm going to speak to you. Wadea should be in school today. Instead, where are we? At his funeral. And I'll speak to you as a physician. I have been to multiple missions throughout the world, including conflict areas, including immediately into Syria after the earthquake. I have seen children under the rubble. I have seen children torn to pieces from war. I have never thought I will see this here in America. I have never thought I will see this barbaric action here in our land. And our hearts ache because of that. Because me as a physician, I have never imagined that we will lose our humanity to that degree and treat children where we are supposed to heal them and take care of them. This hurts us as humans, as physicians, as faith leaders, and I hope this will be a trigger for all of us to take a step back and rethink what we say and what we, and for all politicians and the media, as mentioned before. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay, we have Mayor of Plainfield who joined us here and would like to express a few words.
I'm Mayor John Argodelis of Plainfield, Illinois. Argodelis, Argoudelis. And I'd first like to express my heartfelt condolences to the family and the community on the loss of young Wadea. As a parent, I can't even begin to imagine the pain experienced by the family, especially, and of all who a young man is lost. By listening to the descriptions of him, he sounds like an all-American boy. And in America, we don't expect this kind of action. It was shocking to us. I heard about it, and certainly heard about the hate crime motivation of it yesterday. And if you look at my mayor post, I was up at 3 a.m. just tossing and turning over this. I've lived in Plainfield all my life, and as mayor, we make great efforts to be inclusive of our community. We have a diverse community of many people. My good friend Mohammed Fahim, who's been a strong representative of our local mosque, he currently serves on our plan commission, and everybody in Plainfield is included and part of our community and our government. We are one Plainfield, and this is a shocking event to happen in our community of 45,000 people, where we all live in harmony together and work with one another. The outpouring from the residents of Plainfield has been tremendous. I post frequently on Instagram and Facebook, and the community, and especially the non-Muslim community, is what can we do, how can we help, how can we show our support. And we will be having a vigil tomorrow evening at 8 p.m. at our Park District Gymnasium, and I expect a very large showing of our community saying that we reject hate, we reject discrimination, and we stand for one Plainfield for all, one America for all, and equality for everyone. So again, I want to extend my heartfelt condolences on behalf of myself personally and on behalf of our community. No parent should ever have to experience this. So, thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. And I would like to introduce Mr. Harry Benton III, Illinois House Representative for the 97th District.
My name is Representative Harry Benton, B-E-N-T-O-N. I represent the 97th district where this happened, and been a resident of the area my whole life. I grew up off the street that the tragedy happened, and I'm here to support the family, support the community, and let everybody know that here in Illinois we should have love in our hearts, and I don't want to see this politicized, because this is an international experience, and here in Illinois, here in the United States, we need to love each other and we need to show compassion, because we do have a diverse community in Plainfield and the surrounding areas. And one of the things that I truly want to convey through the conversations that I've had is we're taking the proper precautions and making sure that we are putting more patrols on the street, making sure that people feel comfortable, people feel safe from all walks of life, all communities. And I've seen the community gather around and become one. All faiths, all backgrounds have come together to make sure that we support the family, we support the community, and safety is at the first and foremost of all of our sorry, it's kind of throwing me off a little bit, because I have a 5.5-year-old. She'd be in the same class, and my wife and I have been talking about it all weekend, and we couldn't imagine. So honestly, forget the politics. I don't care about the politics. I'm getting sick and tired of this crap going on around the country, in the state, anywhere. Kids are kids. Let kids be kids. Hold people accountable. Make sure that this doesn't happen anywhere else. Too much has happened throughout this country. Too much hate. And I think about my daughter all the time, and you want to think that this is an isolated situation, but there's so much hate out there, and we need to stop from everywhere, because my daughter would be in the same grade, and it's just hug your kids a little bit tighter, because that doesn't happen for everybody tonight. So that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Representative Benton. We really appreciate it. It is interesting to know that after 9/11, we had so much support from our neighbors and friends and interfaith groups who came to our mosque, and we have not seen the hate we have seen today for something that is happening overseas. What happened in 9/11, what happened on our own soil, but we had the greatest support. For something to happen overseas and we see this backlash of hate was really something else. Thank you for attending this conference. We appreciate being here. We hope that we never have to come back here and talk about any incident that involves any innocent people in this country or around the world. We just pray for peace everywhere. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum.
Hey, it starts with you guys, with the cameras. It starts with you guys, with your propaganda.
So the mayor is here holding the meeting for the family that's living there.
That's all it is. That's all I gotta say. I'm not. You guys came here. You saw the peace. We're Muslims. We're here. We're our brother. But it starts with you guys. You need to know. You need to have a heart. When you say something, you need to find the source. You can't. You can't just do something without a source. You need to confirm. You guys are media. You can't just say what you want to say without having evidence. That's where it starts. That's where this happened. So you guys got to go out there and do your job to protect people. Allahu Akbar! Allahu Akbar! Allahu Akbar! Allahu Akbar! Allahu Akbar! La ilaha illallah! Muhammadur Rasulullah!
Guys, just please, you need to know and to look in both eyes, not in one eye. We are not killing the kids. We are not. We are not raping the ladies.
Who are you?
The president lied publicly. He has to correct it publicly. No one looks at the White House website. It has to be public.
Exactly. He needs to apologize. At least.
And the media, CNN, whoever did it publicly, they have to correct it publicly. No shitty little thing on a website that no one looks at.
For me myself, if I die, I will die stand as a man. And too many people like this. Just we need to fix the situation. It's very easy, guys.
I'm seeing
we need to fix the situation.
On social media, everywhere I'm seeing that fraud.
Hey, it's not always about getting the story first, guys. It's about confirming it. That's all I got to say.
Exactly.
You know, we can come out here and we can spread all the propaganda that we want to spread. You know, if you just want to report on anything that's said or anything that's heard or any hearsay, you guys can do that. But it's not the truth. You need to confirm your sources. You need to confirm the story. What we know is a 6-year-old boy was killed. A 6-year-old boy was killed. That is something that you need to report. That's something that you need to report. You know, without confirmation, it's not news. Without confirmation, it's not news. And you guys are all journalists. You all went to school for this.
How they stop the food, the water on Gaza?
Go back to the basics, guys. What you learned when you were a journalist.
Max Blumenthal,
confirm the source, guys.
Max Blumenthal of the GrayZone.com, he showed it. It was David Ben Zion, the fanatic settler, who told an Israeli lady reporter, and she said it, and Israel denied it, that 40 baby beheading. Max Blumenthal of the GrayZone.com has shown that to be false. Anyone can look at it. It was David Ben Zion who previously said to wipe out Palestinian villages.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming, guys. I appreciate it. I hope you
It's
did
prayer
a
time.
good
Let's go,
work
brothers.
there. Thank you.
Trying to, man.
They're journalists. And their job should be the truth. Prayer time. Everyone needs to go inside the mosque, please. Prayer time. What is working right now?
Trying to wrap it back up nice and clear. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. You take it out.
Put him on the radar.
How more lies are you guys gonna do, huh? How many lies? How many lies, guys? How many lies? Just keep lying. Make sure the pictures are good. Just keep lying. Keep lying, you guys. Go home. Go home. Put your feet here. You have to hear my voice. Okay? Can you please, gentlemen, stand to watch that? We need to mobilize. And to watch. Just look at that to watch. Whatever you stand. Not good at home or send it to the home. Go ahead. It's so easy. Thank you. I don't want to have just a second. Sit down, look those moments are not ordinary, so we need to understand them and care and with each other in order to get smooth inshallah. So we are here to perform the extraordinary janazah prayer after Salat al-Dhuhr for the child Wadea. Allah accepted, forgive him, shower him with mercy, and make it easy on his parents, his family members, and all in our community. Allahumma ameen. زي ما أبو حتى بطل Wadea is a son. And he is not the only one. And the fact, there are very in Islam, unfortunately, sometimes the name is promotion and lecture on the noise you can put on the street where one of the children trying to intervene on their hand. And she said that which might be any time. So please recognize the smart button is
who have died in the Russian invasion. This has to stop. Both people should live in the country with equal rights. Jewish people don't have to worry. They can control the military. They don't have to worry about demographics. No one has to die. And this really needs to end. And right now, I'm going to wait for President Biden to apologize because I'm hearing people, Muslims who are in stores, who own stores, gas station, they're armed.
It's just this little cord, this one right here. Thanks.
I'm so sad because this is not the first episode. Almost every other day. Someone will follow me when I come to lead the prayer. Please do make prayer for my family.
You guys all set? You guys all set? Rules 1, 2, 3, check. Secretary, tell us about what is
before that one week, Dr. Abigail followed me, and he said,
you know, we have to be better than this. There's too much hatred and vitriol and misinformation, and I can't get the image of this little boy out of my head, and my thoughts and prayers are for the family. It's a horrible day for everyone. I don't care where you live, I don't care what your religion is, I don't care what you look like, and whether you have kids or not, it's irrelevant. Sorry guys.
Can you just talk about, I mean, this is a lot to take in from everything that's happened over the weekend. For this to happen to a family, for someone to do this because of their nationality.
And this is someone that, you know, allegedly this landlord knew. And like, how does someone have so much hate? How does someone have so much hate in their body? And we've seen it around the world, and I think for it to happen right here, a little boy who did nothing wrong to anyone, and for his family to have to deal with this. Again, I happen to have a 6-year-old, but whether you have kids or not, we have to be better. And I think it's up to all of us as a community to reach out to people, let them know we care about them, and whatever it takes to end this hatred and vitriol and evil, I think is up to all of us. And my heart breaks for this family.
It seems like one of the biggest messages from a lot of people speaking today is that they want people to speak out against anti-Muslim, anti-Palestinian conversations, and they want not only us, but for politicians to speak up and say that this isn't right.
Yeah, I mean, to me, that's the easiest thing in the world. There should be no anti-Semitism. There should be no anti-Muslim sentiment. And I won't get into depth here, but we should be kind to everyone, regardless of what they look like or where they're from. What's going on? What's happening to our society? What's happening to our world? And I think that, coupled with dangerous misinformation on social media, where people can read and make up their own opinions and thoughts, and then act on them with anger and meanness and evilness, should be unacceptable. And I think, people, we just have to do better. I wish I had, more substantive thoughts, but my heart breaks for this family, guys. All right.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Appreciate you. Hey, no, I'm Patrick. I'm Robert. Good to see you. Here you go. Sorry,
Appreciate you.
Tangled.
Oh, it's all good.
Thank you so much. Yep. I'm going to copy and give it to you guys because I got to go to another interview right now. Where my reporter is.
Yeah, you guys have one? Reuters, we've met several times. It's okay. It's okay. We've done that before. We've done that before. Forgive me, I'm with Reuters.
That's my son. He's 5.
I'm with Reuters and one of our clients is Al Jazeera. Do you mind if I speak to you briefly before you talk to CBS News?
You're with Al Jazeera?
Reuters. Al Jazeera is one of our clients.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't like to talk to reporters because honestly, you guys don't know what journalism is anymore because you guys are all one-sided.
Do you think Reuters is one-sided?
Well, everybody's one-sided right now.
That's unfortunate. We're one of the biggest global news
I don't
organizations
know. I
in the
really
world.
don't watch the news ever since COVID. I don't watch the news.
You know,
I do my own.
We're not even
news.
American-based. Did you know that?
I don't know, man. I don't know. She's bringing you somebody that's gonna talk for you guys.
Okay.
Because I'm gonna get emotional and I'm gonna start cursing.
The emotion
and
is
I'm
real.
gonna be like,
Well, the emotion is real, and that's what people.
You guys start talking. We condemn Hamas, and that's when it boils my blood. My husband's
I'm really
not
sorry
gonna
you
want me on
feel that
camera
way.
anyway.
Okay.
Hello? He was joking as an interview. He will.
Hi, how are you?
Yeah.
Nice to
I know,
meet
but they
you.
didn't want me to do the interview.
Reuters.
Reuters.
No, no.
Nice to meet you. Go ahead. Thank you. You just spoke to Channel 7?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, wonderful. I appreciate your time.
No problem.
I'll be brief. Yes, sorry, I'll kind of come over this way a little bit. The whole time, just pretending the camera's not there, just you and I having a conversation.
Sure.
Can I start from now? Just have you say and spell your name?
Deanna Othman, Deanna
Awesome.
Othman.
And are you from the area?
Yes, I am. I'm from Oakland, Illinois.
Okay. Do you have any? Are you of Palestinian descent?
Yes, I am. I'm from the West Bank, and my husband is from Gaza, and actually traveled there this summer.
I see.
Yeah.
Are any of his loved ones impacted by what's happening?
Yes, all of them are. Yeah, fortunately.
Are they're all still okay in here, though, correct?
Yes, we try to get in touch with them at least once a day. So we were able to get in touch with someone this morning, but it's very difficult, to get any sort of updates from them because of electricity and such, and lack of internet.
Things have been shut
Yeah.
down.
Yeah, completely.
Resources are very scarce.
Yeah.
How do you feel right now in this very moment, knowing that we're here mourning a 6-year-old who quite literally has nothing to do with the conflict happening overseas?
I mean, it's very painful. It's painful that, this little boy had to lose his life because of the anti-Palestinian sentiment that is rampant, both online and in real life. We're seeing the repercussions of the rhetoric that our government has been spouting, and that a lot of media has been spouting regarding Palestinians, painting them as less than human. And so unfortunately this young boy has paid the ultimate price for that, as are the children who are in Gaza, who are constantly under bombing and shelling right now, and have been for days. We are shocked, frankly, that the U.S. government has not called for a ceasefire yet, and that the world is basically watching all of this unfold in real time, on TV news, on social media, everywhere. And unfortunately, even though the videos and the photos are everywhere, we haven't had people act on what they're seeing.
How are you feeling right now in terms of emotions? Is it anger? Is it fear? How do you describe that to the people who might see this across the globe? Because we're a global entity, and so it goes much further than America.
Of course.
What message do you have for the world about how you and maybe even your people are feeling right now?
We're feeling very worried. We're frightened. We're anxious. We are angry. We're angry that the world is watching this happen and there's no intervention. There's no call on Israel to stop its brutality. It's endless bombing of civilians, of people that are taking shelter in hospitals and schools. People were told to evacuate south, and those areas are still being targeted, even some people as they traveled. And so, we ask people to look into what the nature of this occupation truly is, that the Palestinians are an occupied people, that the people in Gaza have lived under a debilitating siege for 16 years, where their movement is limited, where their water is limited, where their electricity is limited, where their food is limited. And so no one would want to live under these circumstances, anyone, anywhere. And so we ask people to look into the reality of what is happening, and please speak out, do something. Do not spread misinformation, because it quite literally kills. This is what led to this young boy's death, was this misinformation and this hateful rhetoric.
Question for you. I know you guys are ready to go. Do you have any children of your own? And when you first saw that this little boy had lost his life in such a gruesome way, how did you reflect on maybe your own family and the fact that that happened right here in the United States, in the Chicago area of all places?
I do have children, and I am afraid for our whole community, both in Chicago and the rest of the United States. Unfortunately, this is not something we haven't seen before. Unfortunately, this has been the climate post 9/11 for Muslims in America. Arab, Palestinian, Indo-Pak, whatever background they are, African, anybody who is visibly Muslim. And some that aren't, such as our Sikh brothers and sisters who were targeted because of their clothing. So, this is something that is definitely not new, but obviously is very heightened at this moment. And so we're very conscious of that, and we're also conscious of the context it's happening in with all of the other children who are abroad, who are in Gaza, who are in other areas of Palestine, who are losing their lives and losing their families and losing their homes.
Is there anything else you wanted to add that we didn't talk about? Anything pertinent or poignant? I know a lot of people have been critical of the media here, so I wanted to just give you this opportunity, this platform.
Sure.
If there's anything you think we haven't been sharing that needs to be shared.
Yeah, I think that we need to share the stories of the Palestinians who are in Gaza. We're not seeing many human interest type stories from these individuals about what their life is like, about what they're going through. And now it's virtually impossible because journalists are not being allowed. And so the fact that journalists are not being allowed speaks to why, right? Because they don't want these images to come to light. They don't want these stories to come to light. And so it's important that we try our best, right, as members of the media to relay this information, to relay these images, these videos, whatever it is that people share.
Really well said. I don't know if you followed or not, but one of my colleagues, I work for Reuters, one of my colleagues was
killed, yeah, in Lebanon. Yeah, from Israeli fire.
So
I know.
It quite literally is.
Yeah.
A lot of people feel so detached from it because they're here, but in all reality, this is hitting close to home for a lot of us. So I'm so sorry.
For sure. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
I appreciate you speaking so openly and very eloquently. Thank you.
No problem. Where is this for, like audio or video?
Oh, video. I'm with Reuters, and we're actually live right now. So, yeah. So, and that's
you did really good.
I didn't know it was live.
Thank you.
How can
I don't know if there's like a link out there or something. I'm gonna go. I gotta go over here real quick. Yeah, because I'm a little slammed right now. Oh!
Like this. Yeah. That's why everyone's like, get her, get her. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We'll do the janazah prayer, inshallah. Sheikh Dr. Ahmed Arafat, Dr. Ahmed Arafat will preside over the burial in the graveyard. So he will accompany the janazah to the graveyard. And I expect and hope that all of us will cooperate fully with the police who are helping us make this safe until the janazah will reach the graveyard, inshallah ta'ala. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. احنا بالجنازة تفضلوا.
There is a bus outside that will be going to the cemetery. Feel free to jump on the bus, and the bus will bring you right back here after the burial, inshallah. There is a bus outside if anybody wants to take the bus, and the bus will bring you back here immediately after the burial, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum.
Thanks, Kama. I need to come down. We have to leave to go to the burial site now.